Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Common-Tators podcast, where we discuss some fuss about our lives and serve some just through telling people stories. Today, we're going to be talking about our regents that we did today.
Yay.
And Maro would like to start the questions. Wait, today we got Maro here.
Hello.
Today we got Lucas.
Hi.
And we got Soraya here today. Yippee! And you got me, Alex. Hi.
Well, everyone knows like Regents Week started, or the Regent Weeks. So how would you guys study for it? Is it even worth it?
Oh, I studied, right? Studied 3 hours yesterday with my friends, and she's a pretty smart person. She goes to Stuyvesant, and that fancy stuff, that fancy smancy stuff, and like she tutored me like 3 hours yesterday, and just today my brain just stopped working. It just froze in the middle. Like
That's the worst thing to happen.
Yeah, when I opened the booklet, the first questions were like, is this supposed to be a trick question, or is it just an easy question? Like, are they trying to trick me or something? Because that's kind of like expected for any quiz that's made by the DOE. And it's like stressing me out at the moment. And the room was cold. I mean, it was freezing. I was like in the freezer right there. It was not a pleasant thing. My body was shaking. My entire body was shaking. And yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant.
For me, I didn't study at all.
Me too. Like I semi-studied, sorta.
My mom told me to study for the math ones. I was like, it's okay, Ma. I know what I'm doing. And I went to the room. I was like, okay. I started doing like the first questions. I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And I turned the page, and they're like, so what's the square root of 5,252? And I'm like, what's a square root? So I was like, oh my God. And then I got to the written part, so I was just like struggling. Like some parts I was like, wait, I know this, and I started doing it, and I forgot how to do it. It was just like the worst thing ever.
It's like the beginning of the year, they teach you this, and then they're like, oh, I expect you to remember at the end of the year.
Yes, and our teacher, she did not even like remind us of anything. Like her Regents prep was stupid.
Oh yeah, definitely, Ms. Rappan. She didn't teach us the circle questions, so I had to go ask my friend to teach me. She taught me how to do the circle questions, and that's how I found out. I'm so grateful for her to teach me. That's the only thing I remember. The formulas. I memorized the formulas, every single one of them.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, they
literally gave you one.
Yeah.
No, those are the ones that they don't give you.
All those
like
ones.
the x equals x.
I didn't even use the ones that I didn't
X
use.
plus r radius blah blah blah, like math wizard stuff.
For me, it was really hard to study because I didn't know what to study. It was like you had to like study like the whole concept, and it was like kind of hard to study because I didn't know where to start, and I don't even know what I learned from the beginning, so I couldn't really study the beginning stuff.
I never study for any tests until Alex was like, are you studying? Are you gonna study? Do you want to study together? And I'm like, you studied?
Yeah, I'm like that type of guy who would always like do a little bit too extra on everything. I'm very, very picky.
And that made me stressed. I'm like, you studied? Uh-oh, I gotta study too. And then I was like, how do I start studying?
Like,
Like, no one answered, was it worth it?
No. I hated it.
I'm glad I didn't study, like semi-study, because I was convincing myself, study. It's right in your bag. I'm too lazy.
I was so confident in the beginning, and then it just froze.
like the only one I kind of studied for, like again, was I also did study for like science, and I was like I was really confident. And I thought I was gonna do it all until like it got to like the last questions. I know you guys are not in living environment, but we had to do something about a cow, and how all their genetic information. It was the worst thing ever. Like I shouldn't have not studied because my brain thought the regions were gonna be the same as the regions from the past years because I studied with using like I study using the already made regions. It's like, oh.
So would it be easier? What will make the regions easier?
I don't think it should be easier because if it's too easy,
What will
then.
make it easier, Mister?
But I don't want it easier because
Why? You want
everyone
it
is gonna get
harder?
100.
Do you not want anyone to get 100?
Yeah.
No, but like then it's not gonna be like. No, but
Like-
then why is Regents a thing if it's gonna be too easy?
There
You
shouldn't
need to like
even
make
be a
it hard
Regent.
so you can like go to the next class to show that you're like
You don't-
advanced.
If you
enough.
fail the Regents, it doesn't matter.
No, if you fail the Regents, you gotta retake the class.
No, if you
No,
fail
you don't
the class,
have to.
Yeah, you do.
You fail the class, then you gotta retake it next year.
If you-
If you fail the Regents, you could take it in August or January.
Yeah, but you're still gonna have to retake the class you failed the Regents
No,
for.
no,
No.
No, you don't.
If,
Really?
No.
if you're passing the class and you fail the Regents, you have to retake the Regents. But if you fail the class and fail the Regents, you have to retake the class.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I kind of like disagree on the point that it should be like staying the same as harder. It doesn't really make sense because we
Make
already
it
know.
easier.
Like some people, different schools. Like if you go to like Stuyvesant high-end schools, and like it does make sense for them to be harder because they already have much more experience. But instead of like crappy schools, like barely funded schools,
Mecca's so
very
crappy.
like very poor communities, like they don't have the access to higher education, and which making it harder is just making it worse for them to take
It's like
it.
the route for failure already.
Yeah, it's just a route for failure, and making it easy is just like it may benefit like some other people like who has higher education, but it's gonna benefit the majority of like being the poor people, like no, like being poor is like no mobility and it's like it just changes like how we serve the community, and like yeah.
Wait, I kind of disagree with your point. Like, not like with the point like it shouldn't be like harder, but like even though like if you're in a poor school, you could have actually good teaching sometimes.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
yes, so like. Cause like I remember like sometimes like when I was in public schools, like different ones, like it was a poor school, like they didn't have like certain good foods or like good like books and that stuff, but like I still learned. But like with the thing with the Regents, it should be like less harder, cause like there's some kids, even though they like learn, but they may have a problem with like how they take in information, if they have like like issues like with like special needs. If the Regents are hard, you're not giving those children a chance to be able to shine in life, It's
This
like
took a different turn than I thought. It was gonna be like, I was thinking better breakfast, serving breakfast or lunch. Y'all were like harder, easier. Someone even made a suggestion for massage.
what?
I mean, massage just like lower down the stress.
I would say like music, but like no lyric music. Like depending on like what you're taking.
Oh, like calming river music.
Yeah.
Yeah, those type of music.
But
yeah.
like it gets annoying after a little while, so people could vote to like change it or something.
Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our lovely podcast. And
Bye.
bye.
Bye.